Hello Airsoft friends, and welcome to this video today, where today I'm going to be talking about identifying yourself and enemy players, because I think it's something that people kind of do the wrong way when you're out playing Airsoft, and I think if there's like a universal rule that everybody plays by, we're all going to get on a little bit better and enjoy Airsoft that little bit more. Now, what I'm talking about isn't about looking and finding armbands and deciding if they're red team or blue team, and then as a consequence of that, shooting them and taking them out of the game. What I'm talking about is seeing a player, not knowing what team they're on, and then calling out to try to get them to identify themselves to you, so then you know whether to shoot them or not, if they're a friendly or a foe, whether to, you know, give them a welt on the side of their head like I recently got, or to let them walk away free. Now, there's a few different ways in which people do this, but the most common way that I found is calling out your own color. So say I was on blue team playing against red team, and I found a player who I didn't know what team they were on. I would then shout out blue, but like in a questioning way. So probably more like blue, blue, and then from hearing that, the person who hears the call for blue should then respond with their own color. Essentially, the rule I kind of feel like is the most universal one, or the one which we should make universal, is the person who spots the other person calls out their own color, and then anybody within earshot who hears that calls out their own color in then response. At a recent game day, there was a couple of times where I ran into the same guy, and every time I saw him, I didn't know what color he was on, although I quickly learned who it was, and then I just shot them anyway. But he would call out the color that he thought that person was. So if he saw me, he would shout out blue. So then I would then shout out blue, and then he would then start shooting at me. And this kind of like isn't the way which I feel like it should really go, if that makes sense. The reason being, if somebody shouts out blue to you, you do not know if they're asking if you're blue, if they're identifying themselves, and I suppose if, you know, what I'm talking about now is kind of, you know, held in the same regard. But it makes more sense to me for people to call out their own color to identify themselves, for then other people to then, you know, kind of identify them. Because if you've got the drop on somebody and you shout out your own color, yes, they're then going to learn whereabouts roughly you are, but then you can respond to them as soon as they try and turn around to like kind of shoot you and take you out. And if they were to shout blue in response to you shouting blue, then you can leave them to it and then go on your day. And if they were to shout red, you can then take them out straight away. And if they were to not say anything and then turn around and try and shoot you, then in theory, you've got enough chance to shoot them as well. Now, again, sadly, this isn't like completely universal, because I have had it where I've shouted out my own color to somebody, they then haven't responded and kind of like turned and looked at me. I've then shot them, and then it turns out that they're on my own team, and then they're a bit grumpy. And I'm like, I'm trying to identify who you are. I've shouted out my own team color, which I think is the fair way to try and identify somebody, but then they've just not done anything, so, you know, they've got shot, which in my head, I think is quite fair. If I'm playing and I hear somebody like shout a color, I just shout my own color back, and then if it's like an enemy that shouted like red or something, then I'm like, I need to get out of here, because now I know an enemy's near me and they've got their eyes on me, or they know where I am, and I'm, you know, in danger. Whereas if somebody shouts the color that I'm on, I'm like, okay, cool, I've got teammates nearby. I guess maybe it's just the way that my brain is programmed. Like, my brain is maybe one of my first experiences, or maybe like a couple of my first experiences of people calling out colors to identify people like that were in the way of shouting out their own team color, which is why, you know, it's stuck in my head that that's the way round which it works or makes the most sense to me. But I've thought about this quite a bit, and genuinely, I don't really feel like there's much of an argument for people to shout out the color that they think other people are, because if they shout out the color that they think other people are, then they could pick any color in the world. Whereas if people only shout out their own color, then that makes complete sense. And also, if you hear somebody shout out a color, I know I kind of touched on it earlier, don't turn and engage them. Like, don't not respond. And, you know, just kind of like try and take people out. It's just not gentlemanly. Like, you know, Airsoft is a game that's based on honor, and if somebody's like, you know, trying to help and be nice by identifying you, they've got the drop on you already, so they could have just shot you like in the face if they wanted to, but they haven't. They've been nice. They're trying to identify you to work out what team you're on.
Yellow, 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 hit. What color are you? Oh, you didn't call a color. No, as in I called the colour, but you didn't respond, so I didn't like go to engage.
And for you to then not shout back a colour or identify yourself and then just like run away or try and flick and take the shot, yeah, it's just not gentlemanly. So if somebody's trying to get you to identify yourself, just identify yourself. Just shout your team color back, and then, you know, you can actually be happy in the fact that you've got a moment to try and get away and hide, and, you know, or you can even try and take them out if you want to, but identify yourself first, because that's just the right thing to do. Anyway, let me know what you think about that in the comments. Like, when somebody shouts out a color, do you feel like they're shouting an enemy color or their own color? Do you respond with your own color, or, you know, do you not respond? Do you just run away? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And do you think it would also be helpful for us to have like a universally recognized rule? If somebody wants to, you know, identify someone, they shout out their own color as a question, and then people then respond verbally what the team is that they're actually on. Because I think that it would be good if we were able to, like, you know, agree on that and then start spreading it around the community as the correct way, or the universally acknowledged and agreed way in which to identify people. Yeah, and that's my little bit. Sadly, I didn't have my cameras on me when I was playing on that game day, because I just wanted to play without my cameras. I had a pretty good day as well. I shot lots of people. I did some cool kills. There was one point where a guy tried to knife me, and then probably within the next 10 minutes I found him and actually knifed him, which was quite fun. He wasn't too happy about that, but we had a good old we had a bit of banter about it, and we had a good old giggle, and yeah, it was genuinely fun. So dude, if you're watching this video, it was very much fun playing with you. I hope we run into each other again sometime in the near future. You know who I also hope I run into in the near future? All of you wonderful people watching this video. Thank you very much. If you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe, and also turn on notifications to all, so you always know when I go live with a new video. Huge shout out to all of my patrons for supporting the channel, because you guys are amazing. You help me continue to do this every single month, and yeah, I hope you enjoy all the monthly giveaways that we do. If you would like to join in the Patreon monthly giveaways, click the link below in the description, and yeah, jump on that train, and you'll be in the giveaway every single month. We'll be giving away rifts and stuff like that. Lots and lots of prizes for all of your wonderful faces. Yum, 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 yum. As always, this video was sponsored by Project Airsoft, so if you'd like to get yourself some accessories, upgrades, and, you know, just some fanciful stuff, maybe some StayFreshShoe BBs, or my StayFreshShoe balls, as they're more, you know, lovingly called, then you can do that on the website. Go check out the website, projectairsoft.co.uk. The web address is just here. Isn't that amazing? And if you're a bit lazy, there's a link in the description as well for you to click to go straight there. And finally, if you'd like to make some airsoft friends, check out the community Discord, again linked in the description below. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. Remember to call your hits, and I'll see you in the next one.